Connecticut in the second year, Connecticut really didn't have much ability to throw the ball. They had 2 option quarterbacks. They couldn't throw the ball that well, so it limited what they could do offensively. But you're seeing 3 different quarterbacks from Connecticut that can get it done tonight.
Look at that boot. There's an All-State kicker deep into the end zone. It'll be a touchback.
Rules, when that ball crosses the goal line on a kickoff return situation, it's a dead ball and comes out to the 20-yard line.
And you don't see that much in high school football to have a kid with that strong of a leg.
No, but that's why he's headed to the University of Connecticut. He's got that kind of leg.
Rhode Island.
Don't tell me that.
The offensive series on the Newsy.
That's a big-time foot. He's going to find himself in a UConn uniform very soon, I'm sure.
Dinnigan is the quarterback. Rhode Island spreads things out. Dinnigan has a receiver into the secondary. He could be caught from behind. Huge gain for Rhode Island all the way down to the 10-yard line. Dan Oakland out of Providence High School. One more highlight of Pierce Field.
There's a hometown townie in Danny Oakland. A great wide receiver for East Providence during the course of his 4-year career. And as most people know, East Providence is more of a run-oriented offense, so Danny didn't see the ball as much in the pass game, but he is very, very capable. Great hands. As we see here, Shane Dinnigan delivers the ball right on the money. But you can also see the speed of the Connecticut secondary chasing it down, because Danny Oakland is one fast human being.
70-yard gain on the play.
Well, this is a big series, Don. This is great for Rhode Island to respond right after giving up those 2 scores consecutively.
First down for Rhode Island. First and goal to go from the 10. Piccolo with the handoff into the secondary and into the end zone. Quick answer for Rhode Island.
Eddie Piccolo again, and the same thing. It was the draw play off of the shotgun where they executed the trap. They just did it to the opposite side this time, with Eddie moving from left to right this time. And that's what happens when you get in the shotgun formation. Defensive linemen want to work their way up the field to get into a pass rush, which creates seams in the defense, which Eddie Piccolo took advantage of. As you can see, the trap play once again here, and the trap was provided by Eddie Brown of St. Raphael Academy, which freed up Eddie to get in the end zone.
Piccolo's second touchdown of the day. Maeli will try to get Riley within a field goal. The boot is good. Rams. Well, a lot of Rams. Piccolo out of LaSalle with the touchdown. Maeli out of LaSalle. Another Ram with the point after.
Well, a great drive and a great answer to Connecticut's success in their last 2 offensive series. And a great opportunity, but I'm very impressed with Shane Dinnigan at this point. He has been extremely successful at the quarterback position out of the shotgun. He's delivered the ball on the money to his receivers, which given him an opportunity as well to score. And we got ourselves a game, and we talked about it earlier. We wanted offense. We got it. It's 22-19 here with almost 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Dinnigan, second-team All-State selection, headed to the state of Vermont. St. Anselm will be heading home to. Led Burrillville to a couple of straight D3 Super Bowl appearances.
And Burrillville has had great success. Mike Hauser, their head coach, has done a wonderful job with that program. And they're a team that plays in Division III football, that with a small enrollment school that competes at the highest level. And Mike does an outstanding job in the passing game especially. And you can see the people that he's brought here tonight with him, with Andrew Shaw from Burrillville as well, and Shane Dinnigan and John Armstrong as well, one of their offensive linemen. And a couple of Burrillville kids played last year as well that were receivers for us. So Mike Hauser needs to be commended for what he's done in the pass game with Burrillville.
Another kick to the near sideline. This one goes out of bounds. That'll be a penalty as Maeli overshot the mark.
Well, unfortunately, on that little pooch or Florida kick that Jay was trying to execute, he put the ball out of bounds, and Connecticut will have the opportunity to either take possession at the 35-yard line to start this series or execute the 5-yard penalty and make him kick it again. And it looks like they're going to put it at 35.
Which is pretty much where they've been starting almost every drive at. That's where Rhode Island's been kicking the ball down to. So.
And as I said before, Don, that's the danger of the pooch kick, that it does set up the offensive team with great field position in each one of their possessions, and it's happened here tonight. Connecticut has had tremendous field position in almost all of their possessions.
See what offensive unit comes out. Johnson, the quarterback this time. Second series he's been out. We'll have Hairston in the backfield with him.
Here comes the shotgun set again, Don.
Johnson
in the air.
Pitch to the outside, goes incomplete. Attempted connection with Mike DeRosa.
Mike DeRosa ran a little swing route from his inside slot position. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't there and the ball wasn't delivered. It's a very difficult timing pass to throw because the ball has to be delivered on the receiver's face mask or his outside number. And with, like I said, with 2 weeks of preparation, that's a difficult one to make.
Hairston in the backfield. Johnson the snap, throws it airborne for Sanchez. Tremendous interception by Mike Cirillo out of Barrington High School, Rhode Island, with possession in Connecticut territory.
Well, a great catch by Mike Cirillo, obviously, but more importantly, the defensive pressure by the Rhode Island defensive line caused that errant throw. Ball was a little bit underthrown, and Mike made a one-handed grab. And Mike has been trying to fight through a groin pull during the last week during practice, and he did a great job of recovery. Look at this. One-hand grab, secures the ball, gives Rhode Island another opportunity at their own 49-yard line to maybe get back on the board and take the lead before the half.
First team All-Stater headed to Holy Cross as they'll spot the ball down, actually just still in Rhode Island territory at the 48-yard line. And Cirillo getting the congrats over there.
Back to the shotgun offense again. Tim Cohen wants to get in the end zone.
Dinnigan, protection. The defensive backfield, a split to the outside, stays on his feet. He's heading to the touchdown. He's got it. No flags on the play. Rhode Island back on top.
I think Rhode Island might not go back to the wing T offense. There's no need for Shane Dinnigan running this shotgun the way he is. The wing T might be a clock stopper for him to eat some clock time during the course of the second half, but Shane Dinnigan, once again, can't say it enough, is delivering the ball on the money.
52-yard connection. Dinnigan to Harrell.
Brian Harrell was a single receiver to the right side, ran a backside post off of this cut, seemed like one of the Connecticut defenders fell down, and as I said earlier, his speed is phenomenal. When you put him in the open field, he's going to outrun people.
Point after is good. Rhode Island on a roll in this one, as they have answered Connecticut's challenge with 2 quick touchdowns in the last 59 seconds. Rhode Island has scored 14 points.
Wow, these people, they certainly are getting their money's worth tonight, aren't they? Look at the poise in the pocket by Shane Dinnigan. Delivers the ball directly on the money to Brian. Obviously the cut against the grain and a great athletic play to avoid the tackle there and get himself in the end zone.
And the pocket, you mentioned that, and that offensive line doing a real nice job of giving him a place to throw from.
Give the offensive line credit, and also Tom Carlson from Lincoln High School, who's coached them during these past 2 weeks. They're undersized. They're facing kids that are much bigger than them from Connecticut. And Dave Ross, as I said earlier, is doing a great job in terms of the shotgun snaps. They're all delivered on the money. And also credit Dave Braz, because LaSalle does not run any shotgun formations in their offense. So this is new to him, and he's done a wonderful job tonight.
A couple of LaSalle Rams know about winning on this field, winning a couple of Super Bowls here last couple of years. Squib kick comes down the sideline. DeRosa bobbles it. Who's got it? It looks like DeRosa retained possession, but just barely. Great hustle down there by number 14, Christian Preston, another East Providence townie who nearly came up with it.
Well, you know, it appeared that the ball was fumbled, obviously, but Tomi Okunfalami from LaSalle was traveling at such a high rate of speed, he couldn't slow himself down enough to recover the fumble. If you watch it here, the ball was obviously loose, and Tomi had an opportunity, but kind of passed it by. And give credit to Connecticut for falling back on the ball. That could have been a key play as we head into halftime here shortly.
3:26 left to go until the half. It's been a shootout so far. Highest scoring half we've seen so far in this 4th annual All-Star game in a year. Justice Hairston, 5-yard gain.
Well, we got another penalty. Unfortunately, we got another penalty. Looks like this one is on Rhode Island this time.
Hairston pleading his case. He already had the flag go his way, so I don't know what else there is to talk to the official about.
You know, as I said earlier, Don, it's unfortunate that it occurs because it's a great football game.
Well, the first signal by the official was incorrect. I guess he had his, let's see, his lineup a little off, and it was against Connecticut, so that's why Hairston was talking to him.
Yeah, as I said earlier, you know, as I started to say before, it's too bad because this is a great football game and it's selling itself in terms of the way the kids are playing on the field, and there's really no need for that at all. It really takes away from the beauty of the game.
Second down, it's a dead ball foul after the play, so the yardage will be marked off afterwards. So it's about 21 yards to go. Take the 4-yard gain, subtracted. There's Sanchez. He's been the star so far in this one.
Take a look at the graphic, 151 total yards, and the rest of the team has a fraction of that.
Pitch to Hairston. He's going to throw the ball. Looking downfield. Has Sanchez behind the defensive back. Add more yardage to that. Rhode Island's got some guys back to try to attempt to bring him down, and they do eventually on the 36-yard line. Justice Hairston to Sanchez. And it looked like Rhode Island had it pretty well defended.
You know, those are the things that you don't know. You know, Rhode Island doesn't know about Justice Hairston, that he has the ability to throw the ball because you've never seen him and had the opportunity to scout him, but he obviously has an extremely strong arm. And you could see here that he gets great hesitation and puts the ball and delivers the ball on the mark. And David Sanchez is one difficult kid to bring down in the open field. Give credit here to Sean McGowan from St. Ray's, who made the tackle in the open field from his linebacker position.
First down, Hairston with the pitch. This time he'll keep it and run with it. And not much room to go anywhere.
Tony Okunfalami held on for dear life. He had a piece of Hairston's foot as he tried to climb to the sideline. But going back to my earlier point, the toss sweep play that Connecticut has run with so much success tonight, the two plays that have been big for them off of that have been the toss pass that Hairston just threw and also the reverse earlier in the first quarter. Great complement plays to the toss sweep, so give credit to the Connecticut coaching staff and head coach Rob Samazic.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 9.
Interesting they're staying in the eye, that they didn't go back to the shotgun.
Oh, we got some motion, and we're going to see that's the second time that has happened, that Hairston started to go in motion, and Rhode Island has jumped off that motion.
It's a quality in great quarterbacks like Jason Manson that you use the inflection in your voice to draw defensive linemen off sides. And he's done a great job, and we can hear it here from the booth, of inflecting his voice to draw him off sides. And as I said earlier, it's one that defensive linemen are taught to react only to movement of the ball but not sound to the quarterback. But in this game, when adrenaline starts to flow, it's hard to hold yourself back.
Here's Manson. And it's going to go
interesting
against Connecticut.
Interesting.
Well, it did seem like Hairston was just starting to move, and it's a question, was he starting his motion, or was it illegal procedure at that time? But the call goes against Connecticut.
What possibly might have happened, Don, is when Hairston went in motion, you have to be parallel to the line of scrimmage or working away from the line of scrimmage. If you make any attempt to turn your shoulders towards the line of scrimmage, it can be an offsides penalty, and that might have been called by the wing official on the far sideline.
There's Sanchez, the offensive star so far for Connecticut. This one, 3 big receptions, including an 87-yarder for a touchdown. And Connecticut will call a timeout with 1:34 left to go in the first half. Lots coming up at the half here on Cox 3. Make sure you stay tuned. Keith will be talking to some of the principals involved on the Connecticut and Rhode Island sideline down there, and get more about the background of this game, Keith.
Yeah, there's a couple key people that we're going to speak to at halftime. One of them is Steve Filippone, who's the coordinator of the Connecticut All-Star Game, who's also the head coach at Hand High School in Madison, Connecticut. And also Bob Murray, the head coach and athletic director at Tiverton High School here in Rhode Island, who's also the president of the Rhode Island Football Coaches Association. And both of these gentlemen have a lot of work invested into this game to make it successful, so it'll be interesting to talk to them and get their insight about the game at this point.
You're inside the Rhode Island defensive huddle thanks to the Cox 3 camera crew work.
Don, one of the things that needs to be mentioned about both of these teams as well is these kids are obviously graduated seniors from high school. Some of them will never go on and play college football. This might be the last game of their careers. And they have to travel to both Connecticut and Rhode Island to different locations to practice, which invests a lot of time. They get time out of work, obviously, from their summer jobs. And you've got to give these kids a lot of credit for giving up 2 weeks of their summer to compete in a game of this stature, and I can't say enough about the kids that involve themselves in this contest because it's all good for the game and good for their state.
Fake handoff, Manson drops back,
Oh,
Lets
boy.
it fly. He's got a receiver downfield. Underthrown. Picked off by Rhode Island. That's Gibbs with the pickoff. He's dangerous with the football. Gets it up to the 30.
Well, it was a bootleg off the counter tray play as Jason has executed earlier. Unfortunately for Connecticut, they had a receiver open. Number 22 was wide open going against the grain, working from right to left. And unfortunately, with Lewis Pratts of New Britain High School, you can see that he was open early, but Jason unfortunately underthrew him, which created the interception, which was tipped by Mike Cirillo here and picked off by Charlie Gibbs of LaSalle Academy.
That was a tough throw, though. He was thrown back across the grain. For them to attempt that, that kid's got to have a howitzer for an arm.
He does, and he has the strength of the arm. I think that his lead foot slipped a little bit on the turf as he let that one go and prevented, because, you know, looking at it from the booth, had that ball been delivered where I thought it was going to be, it was going to be a touchdown.
So Rhode Island looks like they'll go back to the running attack with the lead late in the half. As we say that, Brito comes out looking to throw the ball. He goes downfield, has DeWitt down there. E.J. DeWitt, the catch, gets behind the Connecticut secondary. He's face mask, but it doesn't matter. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Rhode Island. Flags fly.
Well,
DeWitt finds the end zone again.
Both of those flags are on Connecticut, Don. We had a face mask call, which E.J. DeWitt fought through on it, and also an unsportsmanlike call on Connecticut in the end zone after he had already crossed the goal line.
DeWitt, a 70-yard touchdown catch from Brito, his second score of the game.
Well, that was just a traditional buck waggle out of the wing T offense. The Joey Brito going to his left, threw back to E.J. DeWitt, who's the lone receiver to the backside, running a post from the backside. And you can see it here. E.J. is the lone receiver. The ball was thrown a little bit underthrown by Joey, but E.J. did a great job to come back to the football in an underthrown situation, outfight the Connecticut defender for the ball, and makes a great run here. You can see the face mask right there, and obviously he fought through the face mask, and unfortunately this extracurricular activity while the ball's in the end zone.
Penalty in the end zone was on Jermaine Smith, defensive back out of Weathersfield. That'll be tacked on to the kickoff with 1:08 left to go. 32-22.
At this rate, we might end this game tomorrow, Don. Rob Samardic's trying to gather his coaches right now. That's one of his assistant coaches to his right, and Steve Filippone from Han High School to his left. Probably trying to regroup. The game is certainly not over. It's a 10-point advantage. Certainly now 11 on Jay Miele's kick, but with the explosiveness of Ryan Kuhn and David Sanchez and Justice Harrison and Tim Washington, we're far from over tonight. We have a lot more football to be played.
Well, you mentioned that you wanted to make this game a high-scoring affair, show off some of the talent. First half, it's already the highest-scoring all-star game in the 4 years of this country.
It's really hard to believe, Don. I didn't think that the passing game on both offenses would be so dominant. I'm not trying to denigrate the defensive play in the secondary of either state, but there's been some underthrown balls that never should have been completed in this game as well. There's been some mistakes made, and the underthrown balls have resulted in some being offensive touchdowns and some being defensive interceptions. So the passing game has certainly ruled out here in the first half.
That's a mean-looking face over there by Mr. Perkins. He's got the face paint running, and Rich Perkins at our Notre Dame High School in Fairfield. He can't be pleased with his team trailing by 11 points to Rhode Island with just 1:08 left to go before the half.
Well, you know, in the second half, I think Connecticut, you know, and I'm sure Rob will find this, is going to have to find the delicate blend of running the football to their two great tailbacks and taking advantage of the feet of Jason Manson as well, but also not forgetting that David Sanchez right now is probably the offensive MVP for Connecticut. He needs to have the ball delivered to him. But at the same time, they've got to control a little clock.
Tommy recovers the onside kick. Everything going Rhode Island's way. They've got the ball on the 40. You know, Rhode Island has 2 interceptions in this game, and they've scored on the next play both times. Well, they recovered the onside kick. The way things have been going, could be a quick strike attempt here.
Well, it looks like Shane Dinnigan's coming back in the game, so they could be putting the ball up top right away. And I'm sure with 1:05 to go, Tim would like to get himself another score on the board.
Great athletic play here, too.
Tomey almost had the last one. This time he got it. Obviously coming from the outside position. There he is. great kid, a great athlete, and Tim Cohen has loved coaching him for the past 2 years.
His last football game was right here at Pierce Field back in early December when LaSalle completed another great season, winning a state championship. And motion on Rhode Island apparently there.
Unfortunately, Andrew Shaw from Burrillville got a little bit of a jump out of his inside slot position on the right-hand side. And, you know, as I talked about defensive line play of watching the ball, it's the same thing with wide receiver play. You have to watch the football because sometimes you get into loud environments with crowd noise that receivers cannot hear the snap count of the quarterback, so they have to rely on watching the ball be snapped. And unfortunately, Andrew got a little bit of a head start on that one.
Shane Dinnigan, talk about efficiency. 4 completions for 162 yards and 1 score. Dinnigan tosses to the outside. Completion.
Great touch.
It's Oakland with the catch out there.
He had to take a little bit off of that one to complete the ball in the flat to Danny Oakland over there. And it was a great touch by Shane Dinnigan. And as you had alluded to earlier, Don, great offensive line play right now by Rhode Island. Shane's getting all the time that he needs to throw the ball.
6-yard completion on the play. Rhode Island will use a timeout. 52 seconds left to go, trying to get another score. Tim Cohen's team is known for scoring quickly, too. I remember the Super Bowl they had here 2 years ago against Portsmouth, and it was just touchdown flew after touchdown flew, and he's got a trademark there.
He certainly does. His teams are built for speed first and aggressiveness, and you can see that the contribution of some of his players here tonight, and he's been very aggressive in his play. You know, Tim has not been one to throw the ball a lot in his success in the last 2 years, but a little bit more last year with his son Liam at the helm at LaSalle. But he's put the ball in the air tonight. He has not held back whatsoever, and it's really been a fun game to watch so far. But I'll tell you, the concession stand might have to start serving breakfast at this rate.
A lot of former LaSalle talent on this field. They still got plenty coming back next year. He said with Liam Cohen, another false start by Rhode Island will cost them 5 yards. And they, of course, have Lorenzo Perry coming back, a dynamic athlete.
Great player in his own right. And LaSalle is, well, certainly is the odds-on favorite to defend their crown. But I think you'd have to talk differently with people from East Providence and maybe Bishop Hendricken as well. And obviously, St. Raphael Academy has always had a strong program under Mike Sasse's direction.
What about North Kingstown?
We'll be better, Don. We'll be much improved from last year. We had a little bit of a down year next year. I mean, last Jeff is Dom Marcone's son. Dom's the defensive coordinator for Rhode Island in tonight's game, and Jeff's an assistant for Tim at LaSalle Academy. Was a great quarterback in his own right at Pilgrim High School when he played for his dad, Dom, and had a great career at Springfield College as well. But he's regarded as the passing coordinator, and LaSalle's offense has done a great job of grooming Liam Cohen during his young career.
3rd and 10 to go. Handoff on the inside to Procolo. Keeps the legs moving. Gets first down yardage and gets out of bounds at the 25. And another late penalty by Smith. That's his second unsportsmanlike in the last, well, 3 minutes of play, and Rhode Island will be knocking on the door one more time after that 15 yards.
Unfortunate for Connecticut again. Once again, the draw trap out of the shotgun formation for Rhode Island that Eddie Procolo has run so well during the course of this game. And you can see here, he works from his right position. He's got a trap that occurs from the right side there by Chris Wheeler of Narragansett, which frees him up. And unfortunately, here comes the extracurricular things of pushing somebody into the wall off the track. I'm sure that Rob Samazik is beside himself right now with the unsportsmanlike calls that have occurred against his team.
And with the second one there, he's surprised he doesn't yank Smith out of the game at this point with 2 in the last few minutes of play. Definitely some frustration showing for Jermaine Smith out of Weathersfield. So this is going to march Rhode Island into scoring position with 33 seconds left to go. No timeouts left for Rhode Island. Have to see where the final spot appears to be on the 12-yard line. So first, 10 to go from the 12.
Going back to their wing T offense here, Don.
That's right, Brito's in the game. Johnson in motion. The pitch to Johnson, a little behind him. Great defensive play by Morgan with the tackle there.
Leo Morgan, great inside-out play on Orlando Johnson on this one. That's the play that we talked about earlier, that E.J. DeWitt and Orlando Johnson had long gains on. Leo Morgan came inside out and made a great play on Orlando Johnson. You can see Morgan working from his defensive end position coming inside out. That's a tremendous open field tackle on a great athlete.
So Rhode Island, it'll be, well, 2nd and 19 yards to go with 21 seconds left to go here in the half. Morgan's made a couple of fine defensive plays in this one.
Well, Jack Cochran of Bloomfield High, of New Britain High School is out with his defensive troops trying to stall off this effort. He really needs to keep Rhode Island out of the end zone before the half here to give themselves an opportunity here. And Leo Morgan certainly started it off well there, creating a 2nd and 19 situation.
Again, this is the 4th annual game between Rhode Island and Connecticut Senior All-Stars. Rhode Island with a 2-game win streak in this one. Trying to make it 3 in a row. Another penalty.
Looks like the right tackle might have moved a little bit early for Rhode Island.
And again, it's very difficult for them to get the timing down. I believe it wasn't the entire roster for Rhode Island at any one practice this year. You know, most of the kids are there, but a few guys had to miss for this reason, that reason, and you know, it's tough to get that timing down, especially in offense like this, which some of these kids really haven't run much of.
Yes, especially in the wing tee, because a lot of kids don't run it in their home high schools. And as you said, a lot of kids have to miss practices for various functions. It's at the time of the year that graduations occur and trips, and the seniors are certainly involved in a lot of those activities, so a lot of kids had to miss them.
Ball on the 23-yard line, 2nd down. Brito looking for Johnson, throws it up, and will it be picked off? No, out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd down with 13 seconds left to go in the half.
That was a buck waggle play that Joey has run several times already in this game, and as Tim has had before, he has Joey rolling to his left-hand side. And after Orlando Johnson faked the handoff off the buck sweep fake, he continued down the right sideline, and Connecticut did a great job in terms of coverage of being disciplined and tried to pick off the ball, but unfortunately caught it out of bounds.
3rd down, Rhode Island should be able to get off 2 more plays. They have to get inside the 2-yard line to get a 1st down, so pretty much heading for the end zone here pretty soon.
It'd be interesting to see here, Don. It looked like on the offsides call 2 plays ago for Rhode Island, they looked like they were going to run the counter crisscross play, which is a double handoff play that LaSalle executes so well. I'm sure Tim Cohen will come back to that pretty soon.
Brito gets free, pitches it to the outside to Harold. At his feet, not out of bounds. Used 5 seconds, so it'll be 4th down. 1 final play to come for Rhode Island, and
8 seconds left on the clock.
Looks like a Jay Maeli field goal attempt coming down.
It's going to be a long boot, vicinity of about 40 yards. Missed a 35-yarder earlier, had enough boot on it, just a little bit wide to the right.
The last kick that Jay attempted from about the same distance or so, and maybe this one's a little bit longer, was from the left hash mark, which is a little bit more difficult for a right-footed kicker. This is a more natural kick from the right hash for Jay to get more strength in his foot.
8 seconds to go in the 1st half. The hold is down, the boot is up. Got the leg, just missed it. Barely wide to the left, but a great effort by Jay Maeli.
Too bad, because he had enough foot certainly on it. He was just a little bit left of the left post, but certainly had a little bit more leg, and as I said earlier, from the right hash mark, it certainly gives him more opportunity for leg strength.
One more look. We'll look at that up. Left upright.
Boy, he just missed it. Just missed it. He had great protection by his PAT team, field goal team there, but he just missed it. Great foot by Jay, though.
One final play coming up for Connecticut right here. Ball spotted on the 20, and I'm sure they'll try to, they got Kuhn in the game, so they'll try to pitch it downfield as they go with a 4-wide attack. Hairston alone back in the backfield.
Find Mr. Sanchez. I'm sure he's going to see the football here.
Kuhn will not get a chance to get the pass away. That is the half, as Rhode Island has the lead over Connecticut. 33-22 the score. Rhode Island coming back from a 10-point deficit to take the lead. Keith Kenyon with more coming up at the half here on Cox 3. Rhode Island and Connecticut football all-star game.
People in your life make all the difference. The best of times are the times with your friends. Questions you've asked, they've got answers for. The smile on their face when you walk through the door. In my life, all my friends are with me till the end. Help me out if they can. Anything they can do just to help me through. Life is good when you've got your friends.
Bringing friends together is one of the ways digital technology makes our lives a little better, and you can count on us to help make it all possible.
In my life, all my friends are with me till the end. Life is good when you've got your friends.
Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
The winner is 3 award-winning movies, playing this month on In Demand, featuring the winner of 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, A Beautiful Mind, Best Actress, Halle Berry for Monsters Ball, and Best Original Screenplay, Gosford Park. And the winner is A Beautiful Mind, Monsters Ball, and Gosford Park.
Choose from more outstanding Cox In Demand movies starting every half hour. Order Cox Digital Cable today.
This is what the people want. They want to see points scored. They want to see the ball. They want it to be exciting. And so we're getting what we hope for, and hopefully the second half will just be more of the same.
How about David Sanchez? What a first half he's had. He's had a phenomenal half, and Ryan Kuhn's delivered the ball as well as Jason Manson. It's been an exciting passing game so far to this point.
Yeah, I think that we need to throw the ball more. I think we need to get more people involved in the passing game, and our quarterbacks are doing a great job. And Dave is headed to UConn, and he's a great athlete, and I'm sure he's going to do well in the second half.
Steve, I know you want to get back to your team. Thanks for all your coordination of this game. It's been great.
It's my pleasure, and thanks to Cox for doing a great job with it, and thanks to you.
Thanks,
Steve.
Steve.
Take care, guys. Good luck.
We have Bob Murray over here on my right. He's the head football coach at Tiverton High School. He's also the president of Rhode Island Football Coaches Association, who's done a great job in organizing this event in its 4th year. Bob, what do you see so far right now? What a great night, huh?
It's what we've talked about, Keith, the fact that the ball's going up and down the field. It's an exciting game for fans to watch. When we worked on it last year, this is what we had talked about, and it's exactly what Steve said. We're getting what we're looking for. We're getting that exciting offensive play.
You know, I said to one of the guys in the booth earlier, Bob, that you couldn't have a better venue than East Providence, Rhode Island. The fans here just love the game of football. We've got a great crowd here tonight. We got great weather. Joe Medeiros has done a great job. And this is probably the pinnacle of Rhode Island High School football for you as the president to put on an event like this.
Well, I think that's the key. First of all, Joe's done a tremendous job. I mean, East Providence is perfect. This is a great place for us to play. But our kids, I think the state of Rhode Island kids have worked towards this point in their high school careers to play in this game, and I think it's become a great rivalry. And I think that this is the pinnacle of high school football for Rhode Island kids right now, to be able to play in this game and to be able to be successful as we're being right now. I mean, so I think this is tremendous for us, for Rhode Island, and obviously for Connecticut.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate all your efforts in making this game happen.
No problem.
And we'll
Thank
kick
you
it back
for
to you,
everything
Don.
you do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you very much to Bob and Keith. Very instrumental participants in getting this game going. And boy, we've seen a shootout here in the first half. It has lived up to advanced billing. Rhode Island has rallied from a 10-point deficit in this one to score the last 21 points of the half. We'll be back to Pierce Field with more.
People in your life make all the difference. The best of times are the times with your friends. Questions you've asked, they've got answers for. The smile on their face when you walk through the door. In my life, all my friends are with me to the end. Help me out if they can. Anything they can do just to help me through. Life is good when you've got your friends.
Bringing friends together is one of the ways digital technology makes our lives a little better, and you can count on us to help make it all possible.
In my life, all my friends are with me to the end. Life is good when you've got your friends.
Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Get ready to go in. Mega movies on in-demand pay-per-view are in your home all summer long.
Do something!
Starting every half hour.
Let's go!
At the touch of your remote.
What's wrong with you?
In-demand pay-per-view. Order a mega movie tonight from Cox Digital Cable.
Back at the half, the team's coming back to the field. They're going to be pretty tired already. 55 points scored in that first half. Keith Kenyon, it was a shootout.
Wow. Who could have thought that it would have been I mean, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, Don, but I never imagined it would have got to this level.
It is David Sanchez, the offensive star, one of his great catches right here.
This was the one down the right sideline on the underthrown ball that he kept his feet in bounds. A great athletic effort on his part.
That set up a touchdown, and they also got a 45-yard field goal for Matt Newsy.
Matt Newsy put the heat on that one. That one was good from about 50 to 55 yards.
Rhode Island closed the half with 21 straight points. Brito, the connection right here, and E.J. DeWitt, one of his 2 touchdowns in the half.
Great job by E.J. out fighting the free safety on that play, and as I said, overcoming the face mask at the 5-yard line and then working his way into the end zone to give Rhode Island a 33-22 lead.
Rhode Island all fired up because they got the lead, 21 straight points. They come from behind. You look at the numbers right there. Really, there weren't a lot of first downs because a lot of touchdowns were scored. Some amazing numbers right there. The 3 Connecticut turnovers really cost them in this one.
Well, you look at the stats there too, Don, and you see obviously the lack of first downs by both teams tells you it's big play offense. The other thing is, obviously, you can see the penalties. Rhode Island has 11, but a lot of Rhode Island's penalties are 5-yard illegal procedure penalties. Connecticut's penalties are for big yards. They've got 9, and I bet you 5 or 6 of them are unsportsmanlike, which can obviously accumulate into a great deal of yardage.
And E.J. DeWitt has been a star, 2 touchdowns in this one. Plus, he had a tremendous downfield block, which freed Rogers High School teammate Orlando Johnson to get down to the 4-yard line for Rhode Island. So E.J. DeWitt's got to go down as one of the stars so far in the first half of action.
EJ's done it all tonight, Don. He's blocked, he's caught balls, he's ran the ball. He's done it all for them as well as his team at Orlando. So Jimmy Grauer's kids have done the Rogers people proud here tonight.
Amazingly, out of the 384 yards for Rhode Island in the first half, they only ran 22 offensive plays. And Tim Cohen's offense not known to be a big, quick strike, huge offense through the air, but they've just had some athletes make some tremendous plays, and Shane Dinnigan needs to get a lot of respect, too, for the way he's throwing the ball.
Obviously, Shane has been one of the big standouts for Rhode Island so far out of the shotgun formation, but, you know, it's interesting. You talk about Timmy's offense during the regular season. Usually his big strikes are out of the running game, and you have the likes of Lorenzo Perry and Charlie Gibbs and Eddie Percolo and Tommy Okunfalami and those people running the football. But, you know, obviously he has more with his son Liam Cohen at the quarterback position too, but it's usually not through the air that he's quick striking people, and he has certainly done it tonight. So give all the credit to Tim. He's having some fun tonight. He's letting it all hang out.
And the officials out there talking to the captains, and I'm sure they're reminding them there were quite a few unsportsmanlike conduct calls there in the first half, and hopefully both coaches said something to the players out there at the half. It will be Connecticut kicking away. Rhode Island will receive. They won the initial choice of this game and deferred to the second half here.
Well, as far as the penalties that Connecticut has been assessed so far in the first half, Don, as I said earlier, Rob Samazik is a gentleman, and he's been a standout, and he's always been a gentleman in the game of football. And it's one of the things that we talked about during the offseason in preparation for this game. He didn't like the 15-yard penalties that Connecticut got last year, and that was one of his goals, to bring a classy football team here to Pierce Field tonight, one that was kind of penalty-free. And I'm sure that bothers Rob, and I'm sure he's made adjustments with it at halftime, that it's not going to be tolerated the second half. And hopefully we settle down and we play football. That's the reason we all came here tonight.
About ready to get underway. Beautiful night, just near perfect conditions. We are in the middle of a heat wave, but it happens to be the one night where it's not that hazy, hot, and humid here in the state of Rhode Island.
You know, the heat wave is created by these two football teams. They have raised the temperature in this stadium tonight.
And there's Mr. Washington coming in, a star, 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut, heading to Syracuse University. And he got in the end zone once in the first half, but Rhode Island did a nice job of keeping him in check.
They certainly did. After the initial series when Connecticut drove down the field and scored, Rhode Island has adjusted very well. But I think you're going to see Connecticut settle back down and get into the run game. They're going to control the clock a little bit and start to take some time off the clock and try to force their power on Rhode Island, which is in fact Connecticut's strength.
Teddy Awa fields the kickoff, and Rhode Island has possession. As we said, they've scored the last 21 points in this one.
Well, it worked to their advantage to defer in the first half kickoff in terms of the coin toss, Don, that Rhode Island gets the first possession of the second half, especially when you come out here with an 11-point lead and an opportunity to advance from that even further. So we will see. It looks like the Wing T team is back on the field for Rhode Island under the direction of Joey Brito, the St. Raphael quarterback.
Key man in this offense, too, is Eddie Percolo, number 8, scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. Handoff to Percolo. Just keep those legs grinding up the middle.
That's a great job by Eddie, because there really wasn't much there on the initial run. That's the play that runs off the complement of the quick pitch play that E.J. DeWitt scored on earlier. And you can see here that Eddie works his way back against the grain and really makes something out of nothing by breaking tackles. And I can tell you, that is pure lower body strength. That's some time in the weight room that creates an opportunity to break tackles.
And Lee Morgan, defensive end out of Bloomfield, had a hook on his waist too, and he's a tough man to drag along. Second down, 2 yards to go. Motion man DeWitt. Polo takes the handoff into the defensive secondary, heading towards the end zone if he's got enough speed. Eddie Piccolo's third touchdown of the day. Rhode Island continues their offensive roll. Just a minute 5 seconds into the second half.
Look at the speed of Eddie Piccolo on this play. It's a simple belly play out of the wing T offense. And if most people don't know, Eddie Piccolo was a state championship wrestler in his junior year at LaSalle and gave up wrestling in his senior year to compete in indoor track to get better at football. And you can see here, when he runs this simple belly play off tackle, he splits the linebackers, the secondary, and outruns everyone to the goal line. He was one of the top sprinters in the state at 190 pounds.
Amazing. Tremendous athlete. A team leader, and one more football game here at Pierce Field. He's making the most of it. Point after attempt is good. Rhode Island stretches the lead, 40-22, just a minute 5 into the second half.
There we go again. With short 2-play drives or 3-play drives to put them in the end zone. Rhode Island doesn't have many first downs, but they have a heck of a lot of touchdowns at this point.
And that's a lot of great athletes chasing him there to show that kind of speed to pull away from. No one came close to catching Eddie Piccolo from the back.
If you notice, when Eddie Piccolo crosses the goal line, there's no flare, there's no flash. He sets the ball down on the ground. And I've always said that the great ones put the ball down like they've been there before, and that's what Eddie Piccolo does. He's a classy young man, and he understands what the game's all about as he celebrates there with his teammate.
And a nice thing, too, the first man he pointed out on the sideline was Ed Brown, a lineman from St. Ray's, saying, I couldn't be in the end zone without these guys helping me up front.
Once again, it demonstrates what Eddie Piccolo is about. He's a classy young man that appreciates his teammates and understands that he wouldn't be standing in that end zone if it wasn't for the help of his teammates.
So Connecticut, they need a response. 28 straight points for Rhode Island in a very short time span. In fact, I'll quickly do my math, and I can tell you in the last 4 minutes and 58 seconds of play, Rhode Island has outscored Connecticut 28-0, and they get another possession. Looks like Connecticut has the ball. Let the official make the call.
Boys, they separate him. It looked like Paul Trout had an opportunity to recover from Rhode Island, but Connecticut did a great job because that ball was loose. It must have hit 3 or 4 people on its way to being a free ball until someone from Connecticut jumped on it. This onside kick has worked. It's not an onside kick, it's a squib kick, but it's worked very effectively for Jason Maielli of LaSalle. And you can see the pursuit from the left-hand side of that kickoff team. They recognize that that's going to be a loose ball on the move, and every one of those kids wants an opportunity to recover it.
Manson, handoff Hairston. About 3 yards, and that's about it.
Connor Galvin of Portsmouth High School. Head coach Bob Montero, who does a great job with their defense. And Connor Galvin's a first-team All-Stater from his linebacker position. Normally accustomed to playing middle linebacker in Bob's 5-3 defense, but tonight he's playing a 5-2 defense. He snuffed that one up and stuffed it for only a 1-yard gain.
Year after year, we see this in this game, too. The undersized Rhode Island defensive unit always seems to step up against big Connecticut offensive line. Second down and 9. Again, there's some movement.
Hard to say what caused that. Rhode Island certainly jumped on, but Connecticut did as well. But the Connecticut jump might have occurred after Rhode Island had crossed into the neutral zone.
And that appears to be the call. And that's really been Rhode Island's only problem in this game. They probably have about 9 of these calls against them so far, and yes, they were drawn off sides, so 2nd and 3.
No, it really hasn't hurt them that badly in this game, especially because their offensive success so far. It only takes 1 or 2 plays to get them in the green pastures.
Manson gives to Washington, who's back in the game, dances for a first down.
was a nice run for a first down by Tim. We haven't really seen him hit his stride yet. He's been slowed up, and you have to give credit to the Rhode Island defense that they've been obviously stopping gaps and plugging him and making him redirect. He really hasn't got downhill and got his shoulders over the ball to be effective in the open field as of yet.
Did get it into Rhode Island territory, 1st and 10 on the Rhode Island 48.
And you know, Don, this is what we talked about at halftime, that we thought that Connecticut would come out with a more run dimension here in the second half. Unfortunately for Connecticut, with Rhode Island scoring so quickly, it hurts their philosophy of wanting to stay on the ground. But it seems that they're going to be determined. They've got 12 minutes left here in the third quarter. They're only down by 18, which is plenty of time. And I'm sure they're going to try to wear down the Rhode Island defense and go right at them and play some smash mouth football.
And they can open up benefits in the fourth quarter, too, by the time, you know, because a lot of these kids, not in football shape, they haven't played a lot of contact football.
There's no question about that. And you know, the other threat that you have to worry about is Jason Manson as the quarterback from Connecticut. When you run the ball continuously, he'll come off with a bootleg eventually, and he'll hurt you because he's such a great athlete.
There you see Washington's numbers.
6 carries for 14 yards, so hats off to Don Marcone and the defensive staff of Rhode Island.
And we'll check out what the penalty call is right here. We saw a little slip down on the field. 2nd down and 9, and again an encroachment call against Rhode Island. Tim Cohen, it's about the only bugaboo he's had so far in this game. So encroachment will set up 2nd down and 3 yards to go.
Jason Manson doing another great job with drawing the defense off sides. This is one of those situations, Don, that you might see a bootleg out of Jason Manson because it's an obvious rundown. And on 2nd down, it gives you another opportunity.
Manson instead gives to the fullback. Didn't gain much on it. Ryan Lafayette.
Well, it was a simple belly play, just a reverse pivot by Jason Manson, and Matt Richards from his nose guard position from LaSalle worked his way down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle on Lafayette.
Matt Richards heading to the Coast Guard Academy. One of the best linemen in the state of Rhode Island last year. Connecticut will get a timeout.
I'm sure that Matt Richards is probably headed to the Coast Guard Academy sooner than later. They usually get started pretty early over there, so he's probably delayed his entry into the Coast Guard until this football game is over.
Nice crowd enjoying a summer evening. Pierce Field. Not used to wearing shorts here. Usually I'm here doing games in December or Thanksgiving or something like that. Freezing up here in the booth, but it's a beautiful night for football. I think you should play the Super Bowls this time of year. Much more enjoyable to win.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, that's the one thing that happens in New England because you have the traditional Thanksgiving Day games. You're never going to change that in some of these New England states, so the playoffs have to be conducted after Thanksgiving, which puts you into December with playoffs. A lot of the states around us, including New York and some of the others, don't play traditional Thanksgiving Day games, so their playoffs usually end somewhere in late November as opposed to where we are. So, but that's okay because Thanksgiving football is a large part of the tradition of Rhode Island football, and we love the opportunity to play on that morning, and it gives us great opportunities.
Now, if you've enjoyed seeing this game so far, here are weekly opportunities. Get your VCR cranked up if you want to get any of these highlights. Saturday, July 20th, 1 p.m. on Cox 3, you can see the game, or Friday, August 9th at 8 p.m. on Cox 3. So if you know somebody playing in this game, or you just want to get some highlights of some great high school football action, crank up those VCRs on those days as Hairston cranks it up through the middle, and finally the whistle blows, just kept churning those legs, and he gets 1st down yardage.
That was a one-man show by Justice Hairston on that one. It was an off-tackle play out of the wishbone. Once again, a play they've run several times in the course of the first half, but that was just leg drive and determination to get himself the 1st down, because in that, with the rules of the game, Don, too, in the 50 defense that they're playing, the linebackers in a less than 3-yard situation can come closer to the line of scrimmage to play tougher defense, which Rhode Island linebackers were in that situation, and Justice Harrison did that all on his own.
And we do have a timeout on the field. It seems to be, it is an official's timeout. It's Connecticut.
Appears to be that the Connecticut coach, Don, I think Rob Samazik and Steve Filippone are probably questioning something about the rules. It's probably an interpretation of the rules. And as I said earlier, the Rhode Island football officials who are volunteering their time tonight and are certainly getting an aerobic workout here as well, they're playing with a whole different set of rules. Although we play National Federation rules both in Rhode Island, Connecticut, and here tonight as well, they are playing under different rules than what the defense can do and what offensive formations can be run. So it's new to them as well.
And they're calling Tim Cohen, the Rhode Island head coach, out. They want him in on the discussion, which makes sense. You might as well get both together to get things straight so you don't have to bounce back between the two sidelines. And you mentioned Rob Samazik. This will be his final game as a head coach. Doctors advise coaching can be a stressful situation, and he's had some, personal health problems. So they've advised him, I guess, not to coach anymore. So this is going to be a meaningful game for him.
I think it is, and I think Rob is real excited to be a part of this game tonight because, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to return to the head post at Maloney High School in Meriden, Connecticut next year because of his health, and he's had some near-death experiences, which I think makes him appreciate life a little bit more. But his fellow coaches in the state of Connecticut wanted Rob to coach this game tonight to say thank you to him for all his contributions to the Connecticut High School Coaches Association, and they couldn't have picked a classier gentleman tonight.
And there's another look at the offensive rules. Earlier we took a look at some of the defensive rules.
The offensive rules that you can't use an unbalanced line. It's used to deceive or to create any offensive advantage. They can use motion, which you've seen during the course of the night. The shifts can be used, but as long as they aren't meant to deceive, and that hasn't happened during the course of the night tonight. And there also must be one back in the backfield at all times. You can't use empty offensive sets, meaning no backs in the backfield.
And Samazik back to the sideline. Try to find out exactly what the discussion was down there. The ball still spotted where it started out, 36-yard line in Rhode Island territory. First down for Connecticut. And penalty flag. This one will be against Connecticut. So a little bit of an early lean back there.
I think that maybe what the discrepancy possibly could have been, Don, is what's perceived as maybe an unbalanced line by the Connecticut offense. They've got three receivers to the strong side or to the right side as we look at it. One of them not being eligible, which is the tight end on the end of the line of scrimmage. So it could be Rhode Island could possibly be asking the officials for interpretation whether that's an unbalanced line or not.
Washington back in the backfield on 1st and 15. Connecticut's first offensive possession here in the second half. Rhode Island scored just 1:05 into the second half. There is Washington with the ball. Tackle by McGowan out of St. Ray's.
Sean McGowan made a great play, and had it not been for Sean filling that gap on the counter play by Washington, that could have gone for big yardage because Washington was just starting to hit his stride when Sean made the play. You can see it here. Sean from his right inside linebacker play works, stays low, gains leverage. Connor Galvin on the scrape from the backside. Those two gentlemen have played very well in the middle of the field tonight.
Matt Richards coming over for a little help at the end of the play. And McGowan, we previewed in the pregame, knew that he'd have to come up big against that tough Connecticut running game with two top backs.
They are chewing clock here, Don. This game is moving quite a bit now. The Connecticut's controlled the clock.
Manson, like a hold in the backfield, no call, and Manson will gain only a yard.
It appeared to be just a straight quarterback sprint into their own sideline that time, Don. Jason Manson takes it to the right sideline and gets two lead blockers out with him. It didn't look like there were any potential receivers out here. That is a predetermined run play right now for the quarterback to carry the ball. And if I had Jason Manson on my team, I'd let him run the football too. He's a great one.
No gain on the play though. 3rd and 12.
Well, we're obviously what I'm sure Connecticut seems as a 4-down territory in this play at this point in the game. And you would think that Jason Manson would be looking to throw the ball.
Sanchez at the low part of the screen. He is dangerous. Inside screen over the middle. Going to gain some yardage. About 7 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down and 5.
Well, it was a good call. It's what the run and shoot teams call in the NFL and the college game, a little shoot screen to the outside receiver, David Sanchez, coming back to the middle of the field to take advantage of the defensive flow, as you'll see it here, as Jason rolls out to his right and Sanchez works back to the middle of the field and comes underneath his blockers, and it got them what they needed. They're in a 4th down and 5 situation, and as I said, they were in 4-down territory, so they had 2 plays to gain the needed 11 yards.
And you got a playmaker like that getting in his hands. Sanchez reminds you a little bit of Riddle the first year, who was the talented athlete who ended up going up to Syracuse.
I agree with that down here. Here's the same play. Same thing.
Great catch, but going to come up short of the first down. Rhode Island will take over on down.
You know, a tough call to run that twice in a row because that's a great play and it's a great call. And a lot of teams have had success with that play through the years. But the second time, Rhode Island was not fooled. You know, you mentioned, Don, about Jamal Riddle, who's at Syracuse now. That particular play that they just ran, the shoot screen, was a play that Jamal Riddle scored on, I believe, twice in that first game down at Southington, Connecticut. You can see it again. David Sanchez working from right to left. And once again, not fooled. Matt Richardson in his nose guard position. You can see, once again, Connor Galvin and Sean McGowan in on the football play. Those inside linebackers have been the strength of that defense tonight.
They may be undersized, but I'll tell you, it's a very smart defensive unit for Rhode Island.
Well, you know, you got to give credit to Mike Sassy and to Bob Montero as well. They're two head coaches. They're both defensive-minded people, and those kids have been coached very well in high school football.
Brito, the quarterback, Rhode Island, with their running attack out there. Orlando Johnson dropping back. Hard hit by Connecticut. Number 24, Chris Joyner with the bury there.
Oh, a great play by Joyner. It appeared to be a tackle trap out of the wing T offense as we watch it here, which it was. And boy, Joyner filled with authority. And Orlando Johnson only being about 150 pounds. That's a mismatch right there in the open field.
Came up in the free safety position to make the play.
You'll notice, too, that the secondary of Connecticut has played very close to the football. They're allotted 5 yards that they can be from the line of scrimmage, and they've played very, very tight to the ball tonight, which has probably contributed in some ways to some of the passing efficiency of Rhode Island tonight.
In the backfield for a loss. Connecticut's defense may be fired up by that Joyner play.
Great job there on the fill. That was just another waggle, and this one was a little bit different than Joey Brito was working to his right, which has been uncommon tonight because he's left-handed and Tim likes to roll him to his left, but he came to his right. And I think what's happening now is the inside linebackers, when the guards pull on that particular waggle, are following the guards and filling the gap coming inside out. And it's not technically a blitz. They're just reacting to the guards' pull and pulling and getting into the vacated gap that the guard has left.
Second great play by Andre Clayton so far in this game. Third down, 14 yards to go. DeWitt in motion. He scored twice. Procolo takes the handoff. He scored 3 times, but goes nowhere on this attempt. Maybe even a loss on the play of a yard. Punting unit for Rhode Island from the field.
Connecticut is starting to gain their confidence on the defensive side of the ball. They certainly have more confidence when Rhode Island is in their wing T offensive sets. As I said, they're going to bring their secondary closer to the line of scrimmage. They're going to react to it. There's only a few pass plays that Rhode Island will run out of that wing T offense. So they're ganging up and trying to put 11 on the ball, which they're doing very effectively at this point.
Hey, nice job. Getting ready to punt the ball away for Rhode Island. Dave Murphy out of North Kingstown. Good snap. Cover team comes down. That's Hairston stepping up, lets the ball go. And it's picked up on the 39-yard line. Coverage for Rhode Island by Owen Koch.
Well, it wasn't one of Dave's best kicks, Don. You know, he's certainly capable of kicking it further, but he got great roll out of it, which he always did during the course of this year. And Owen Koch did a great job in terms of coverage and giving Connecticut fairly decent field position at their own 40 once again. Be interesting to see which offense they come out with, and it looks like the shotgun is back.
Yep, Kuhn, the quarterback, had an 87-yard touchdown pass to David Sanchez earlier in the game. Tall, lean quarterback, Washington on his hip. Dangerous running back, and he goes nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. McGowan among those in on the tackle for Rhode Island. Those linebackers are playing great, huh?
They really are. And, you know, I think Owen Koch probably set this up as well as anyone, the right defensive end. He came hard from his right defensive end position, creating the scene, forcing Washington back to the middle field to feed right back into Galvin and McGowan.
Loss of 4 on the play. Guarantee you not many times in his high school career has Washington been dropped for that much of a loss. 3-time Connecticut Player of the Year. Pass to Esmail. Throw it high to the tall, lanky receiver. It's a 6-yard reception.
That was a nice throw. I mean, it got them back into somewhat of a rhythm once again. The Esmail kid is from Southington High School. As you see him here, he's a very tall kid, probably about 6'5". And Southington High School, the school that he hails from, and head coach Jude Kelly is known for their proficiency in the offensive passing game. Jude Kelly is a great head coach at Southington, and he has thrown the ball with a great deal of success to the years.
4 wide. Washington in the backfield. Heavy rush. Kuhn throws it up. Defensive pick early by Rhode Island. And then Sanchez almost comes back to make it. Looked like Charlie Gibbs wanted to run with it before he caught it. Just slipped through his hand.
Yeah, once again, Owen Koch from the left defensive end position, putting pressure on Kuhn, forcing them to pull up short and throw the ball underthrown. And I'm sure that Charlie's kicking himself on this one. That was one that was right in his hands. As you said, he probably had his eyes on the end zone instead of the ball. And Sanchez almost caught this ball after the deflection.
4th down now for Connecticut. Newsy, high snap. Newsy, he's under pressure, not blocked. Great kick under that much pressure. Fair catch called for and made by Rhode Island. Down the other end by Gibbs. That's a tremendous kick. That type of pressure to just pound out a 40-yard punt.
Well, Matt Newsy did a great job, obviously, of setting his feet to kick the ball because he had heavy pressure from Greg Daniel off the left side, and almost had a fumbled opportunity when the 2 deep receivers for Rhode Island bumped into each other on the fair catch.
4:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Rhode Island 18-point lead in this one. They trailed 22-12 at one juncture, but late in the first half, Tim Cohen's Rhode Island squad got hot, scored 21 points in the last 4 minutes of the first half, and scored in their first possession in the second half. Dinnigan back in, throwing attack, chucks it out here. Big hit in Oakland.
Great play by Chris Barrett coming out of his left corner position for Connecticut. It's a great throw by Shane Dinnigan once again on the small little hitch play out of what is perceived as a 3-step drop offense, and great hit. Take a look at the hit. There's some pad smacking.
Licks Mackinwood out there, laying the lumber. Gain on the play of 7 yards. Dinnigan, 2nd and 3. The pitch to Harrell on the outside. Gets some room on the sideline, continues to run, and he's out of bounds on the far sideline, but he gets Rhode Island a 1st down. Boy, he's a dangerous kid after the catch.
Boy, he's got speed to burn. And I'll tell you that the play was set up by the wing official. He ducked to let the ball go over his head to let Brian catch it. If you watch it on this replay, the official had to get out of the way because it was coming right at him. He dropped down, which gave Brian the chance to catch the ball, and you can see the acceleration up the sideline. The only thing Brian's got to do in that situation is get the ball on his outside arm so he can use his inside arm to defend himself.
Great play by the official. Love that. They're in midseason form, too. Dinnigan chucks it to the outside. Good coverage right there. Smart play by Shane, having the lead, just throw the ball away.
Leo Morgan did a great job from the inside secondary position getting to the flat on that throw. Shane really didn't have much place where he could place the ball on that particular play. So credit to Leo Morgan out of his secondary position chasing the inside out flat play by Danny Oakland.
2nd and 10, ball on the Rhode Island 44. Piccolo, he's played every offensive play for Rhode Island in this one. Picks up Morgan's blitz, throw to Oakland over the middle, close to first down, coughs it up. Looks like Rhode Island recovers.
Very efficient pass game right now. Shane Dinnigan is delivering the ball. Danny Oakland ran a quality hook route from his outside receiver position. Accelerated with the ball, unfortunately put the ball on the ground, but it appears that one of the Rhode Island linemen was smart enough to fall on it for the recovery.
Chris Flossie, number 58, with the key recovery right there.
Chris out of Bishop Hendricken, head coach Ron Mosca. Nice hit there to cause the fumble by the Connecticut defensive back as well.
2nd straight time Oakland's taken a big hit. 3rd down and 5 yards to go for a first. Ball only a yard short of midfield. Hand off for Colo, flag on the play. Eddie is going to be dropped. With Piccolo, you got to wait till you hear that whistle and make that call. He's got great escapability. We'll have to see who the penalty's against.
That was a draw trap play again that Eddie's run so well tonight. And this time he couldn't get vertical and find a seam in the defense because Connecticut rallied downhill to the ball. But you can see what I talked about earlier about having the ball on the outside arm and using the inside arm to defend yourself. As you can see here, Eddie, how he breaks 2 or 3 tackles working to his left. Take a look how he uses that right arm right there to defend himself. He's a tough runner. But I don't know anybody that can fend off 6 people at one time.
And it's going to go against Connecticut on 3rd and 5. Just enough for Rhode Island to get first down yardage.
Big penalty. Big penalty to keep that play alive because it was going to be a 4th down opportunity for Connecticut in a possible punt situation for Rhode Island.
Now procedure call there against the defense. Could that be one of the special rules maybe set up for this game?
I think they might have jumped, Don. I think that's what happened. They might have been in the neutral zone on the snap of the ball.
Just enough yardage for a first down. Rhode Island drive stays alive on the 46 of Connecticut.
The pace has slowed down a little bit here in the 3rd quarter, though. You know, both teams have run the ball with some proficiency here in the 3rd quarter a little bit. Clock has been eaten up as we sit here with 2:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Crowd is quieted down a little bit. They're waiting for another big play.
All those points in the first half, 55 points in that half, and just 7 so far here in the second half. Another flag flies. Throws it downfield, throws it away, looking for Oakland, incomplete. Again, we'll have to see what the hanky's about.
Connecticut did an excellent job in coverage that time. Rhode Island was in a balanced formation with 2 receivers to each side. Ran 4 vertical routes straight down the field. Connecticut covered it up very well. Shane really didn't have many options of where to throw the ball in that particular play.
Same call.
As you can see, Shane was flush from the pocket. And you can see the coverage and the collision by the defensive backs, which didn't give Rhode Island much opportunity, and Shane smartly threw it out of bounds.
5 yards against Connecticut.
So it's against Connecticut, 5-yard procedure penalty. First down and 5.
Well, Connecticut continues to shoot itself in the foot with penalties. It's created first down opportunities for Rhode Island, good field position for them as well. They have to shore up on their penalty issues so they can play the solid game of football that they're capable of playing.
Finnegan looking downfield, behind the defensive base, lobs it, intercepted down there. Slightly overthrown before the pickoff for Connecticut. And the number 6, Deja Durant with that one.
Deja did a great job in this ball, accelerating. You always teach defensive backs that they have to go to their highest point to catch the ball. And if you watch him, the ball's a little bit underthrown, obviously, but you watch him accelerate and catch the ball at its highest point. That's exactly what you teach defensive backs to do. And unfortunately, Shane wasn't able to deliver the ball a little bit sooner because Brian Harrell was open down the left sideline.
A lot of field in front of Connecticut. Manson is the quarterback for this series.
First and 10 from the 10.
Durant with the interception. Ball spotted down on the 9-yard line, so 1st and 10 and a lot of field in front of Connecticut. Handoff goes to the fullback up the middle. Ryan LaFerriere with that one.
Nice play. Looked like a little fullback trap out of the I formation. Got themselves up inside to the center guard gap to the right-hand side of the offensive line. And a good play to get themselves out of their back-to-the-wall situation that they incurred from the interception earlier.
Let's go, offense, let's go!
Hairston deep in the eye. LaFerriere, first back through, gets the handoff, gets a first down.
Just a little off-tackle belly play to the fullback working to the right side. They might see something in the defensive line of Rhode Island to that right side because that seems to be the area they're picking on. And you can see multiple substitutions coming on the field for Rhode Island from the defensive side to make an adjustment.
Wholesale substitutions, 5 Rhode Island defenders checking out. We'll have to see. It looks like Rhode Island may have jumped first.
Looks like Casey Factor of West Warwick High School might have been the victim on that one. He's the right defensive tackle in this position. You can see Casey start to work inside. And once again, Jason Manson has managed to draw Rhode Island off sides with the inflection of his voice.
He's got to be something in that, too, because you've got a lot of smart players out there for the Rhode Island team, and he's been able to draw Rhode Island off sides into double digits. Pitch to Washington on the outside, cuts it back in, right into that linebacking core of Rhode Island for about a 2-yard gain. Will be second and 3. Time ticking down here in the third quarter. Connecticut's going to need to put a lot of points up in that fourth quarter. They trail by 18. Tim Cohen knows it's not over till it's over, though, and Connecticut showing some quick strike ability.
A great play there by Tomi Okunfalami of LaSalle Academy. He played contained defense and forced Washington back to the middle of the field where he had defensive help.
Final play of the quarter. Penta takes the handoff, and he is dropped for a loss. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 to go when the fourth quarter begins. Rhode Island stretches out their lead here in the second half. They were up by 11 at the half, and it continues to grow. What will happen in the fourth? We'll show it to you right here on Cox 3.
Stars Super PAC. Hundreds of movies, millions of emotions.
Showtime presents a new original series.
That NADCOM satellite we deployed was some sort of cover.
They used us, didn't they? Whoever destroyed the Earth looks just like us.
Oh my God.
That will leave you breathless.
Dad, get out of here. Go, go!
Can't find the Earth.
Odyssey 5, starring Peter Weller, every Friday night, 10 p.m. 9 Central, part of Sci Friday on Showtime.
We are back in East Providence, Rhode Island, Pierce Field. Rhode Island Football All-Stars taking on the Connecticut Football All-Stars. All the best from the senior classes in the 2 respective states going at it. And through 3 quarters, it has produced a 40-22 lead for Rhode Island on Connecticut. Rhode Island looking for their 3rd straight victory over Connecticut.
It really would be unbelievable from a coach's standpoint, in my opinion, if Rhode Island was able to win 3 straight games in a row. It's certainly an uphill task for them, with Connecticut having 3 times as number of schools as we have.
Sanchez goes for it on 3rd and 3 and is dropped for a loss, and now it's decision time, and it will be a punting situation. They will punt the ball away as Newsy comes on the field, as he actually loses 2 yards on the play. You can see, though, they decide to go to Sanchez when they need to make something happen out there. Somehow they try to get him the ball.
They have. He's been their playmaker tonight, along with Justice Harrison. That was the reverse off of the toss sweep again. This time, Casey Factor, West Warwick, snuffed it out from his defensive tackle position, made a great play. Casey's headed to Bryant College in the fall. He played for Steve Alves at West Warwick. What a great, great player.
Gibbs and Awa back deep. This will be Gibbs fumbling the ball. Spotley falls right down on it on the 49, and Rhode Island offense will take over with great field position. One more score could just about ice this one. Cox Digital Cable now offers more choices in Spanish programming with the Telelatina package. Telelatina offers 7 channels of movies, news, sports, and family programming, all in Spanish, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information or to order Telelatina, call Cox at 1-888-898-9751.
Great field position here for Rhode Island once again.
Brito, the man at the helm. Johnson, the motion back. Handoff for Colo up the middle. He gained 5.
Rhode Island is back into the wing T offense once again. I'm sure trying to eat a little bit of clock here in the fourth quarter to control it. And once again, the quick motion by Orlando Johnson and the fullback trap to Eddie Percolo. As you can see here, this is the complement play off that quick pitch with a great trap there on the kickout block. and give credit to Connecticut as he falls back inside to make that tackle on Eddie, who had a long ways to go had he not made that tackle.
Why the two different offenses? To utilize the skills of certain players each way, to give Connecticut two different looks? Why two distinct types of offensive being run?
To feed into the offensive strengths of these kids and what they played in their high school sport. Joey Brito was a wing T quarterback at St. Raphael Academy. He can run that offense, and one that Tim Cohen is obviously familiar with, and a lot of his players who were in this game are familiar with. And at the same time, Shane Dinnigan was a drop-back shotgun quarterback at Burrillville High School, so it takes advantage of his strengths as a player as well, along with the wide receivers he has to complement him tonight.
Orlando Johnson dropped for the loss right here.
Great play out of the secondary. It's a great open field tackle because Leo Morgan was on the move, and Chris Barrett filled from the inside out position and made the play on Orlando Johnson, working from left to right.
So it'll be 3rd down, 7 yards to go for Rhode Island. Brian Harrell, low end of the screen. Handoff comes this way to E.J. DeWitt. E.J. dropped for a huge loss on the play. First time anything negative has been associated with his name all night. Has 2 touchdowns and a great downfield block. And
that was the counter crisscross play, Don, that I had mentioned earlier. It's a double handoff play that occurs with a trap by the offensive line. Tim's teams run this so well at LaSalle. You know, maybe a little bit of the timing, but Connecticut ran it down extremely well, and EJ got himself outside of the trap block, which caused problems for him.
Dave Murphy, no pressure. Gets the kick away, low liner over the middle. Hairston has it bounce over his head. And again, not artistically sound, but very effective boot right there, getting it down to the 20. Those are tough kicks sometimes. They're very iffy to handle or not. They come up, if you charge up and try to grasp the ball, and could easily result in a fumble situation.
The thing that I don't understand a little bit, Don, is why Connecticut's not putting any pressure on the punter at all. You know, you're down 18 points at this point in the 4th quarter. You know, the defensive ends have got great speed. I think you got to bring them up the field and try to make something happen and create some opportunities through your special teams to give your offense some good field position.
Quarterback Neil Johnson in the game. First offensive series for him in the 2nd half. Penta and Hairston behind him. Johnson drops back, throws it over here, deflected at the line of scrimmage. Good pressure on the outside. Again, Damian Kindle with the play.
It was just a little one-step hitch route over here to Pierce, and Damian Kindle jumped from his left defensive end position here and knocks this ball down. You know, as I said earlier here, you can see how it's very difficult for offensive tackles to block athletes like Damian Kindle in the open field, and the defensive ends certainly wreak havoc in this structure of the rules of this game.
Wholesale offensive substitution on this one for Connecticut. Sanchez checks in.
Into the shotgun again.
Yep. Empty the backfield. Johnson tosses out. Went right through Esmail, the second receiver.
Tim Burbridge from East Greenwich made a great play on that play, Don. He was working inside out into the flat. Tim Burbridge, an all-state player, a great quarterback and defensive back for Coach Artie Kershaw, and also a great baseball player in his own right.
Art Kershaw, another one of the high school coaching legends around the state of Rhode Island.
We're going to miss Artie. He retired just this past June, and Artie's given up the football job and the AD's job at East Greenwich, and a legend has left the game. There's not many more like Art Kershaw left in the state of Rhode Island to coach football the way he does so successfully.
3rd down, 10 to go. Johnson out of the gun, looking downfield, pump fake, under pressure, goes back towards the middle. Good block to free him. Stays on his feet, eventually dragged down at the 5-yard line. Saw some great football 2 ways there. Connecticut offensive linemen did themselves proud by coming back with a big block.
Well, I'll tell you, the big block was executed by Jake Chalupski, and he leveled Damian Kindle on his pursuit. But there was such heavy pressure that was brought on by Rhode Island that somebody was going to make the play. You could see the block right there. And Owen Koch comes up with a sack, and he's had a great night from Mount Pleasant High School.
15-yard loss, 4th and 25. Newsy to punt from deep in his own end zone. Rhode Island with pressure. We have a penalty flag down on the field. Great kick by Newsy. Gets it to midfield. Teddy Awa gets it there. Awa on the return. 10 yards on the return. We'll have to see what the flags are.
Boy, I can't say enough about Matt Newsy. Boy, both in the field goal kicking and in the punting department, he has really got a big-time leg on him.
And again, it seemed to be very early in that play, unless it was some sort of, I would think, hold on Rhode Island, even if it does go against Rhode Island. At worst, it would be a repunt situation. And even the officials are discussing it for a while, where to spot it. It was before the ball was kicked, the flags flew. Tim Conway, the referee, has done a great job. Umpire David Crater. Linesman Paul Rogers. Bill Phillips is the line judge. And Bill Paiva, the back judge.
These gentlemen have taken their job very seriously tonight. I met with them Tuesday night to go over the rules of the game, and they're very concerned of doing a very good job for the state of Rhode Island and Connecticut in this All-Star game. And as well, they have a crew here on the chains tonight and also the official timer. So hats off to the people from the Rhode Island Officials Association for donating their time tonight to this annual classic.
Unsportsmanlike, live ball. Huh? On the way.
Looks like a possible unsportsmanlike call on Rhode Island, which could create a first down, possibly, for Connecticut. No, they'll be short of it, and they'll have to re-kick.
It'll be a re-kick. Yeah, again, it's not an automatic first down situation on the unsportsmanlike.
On the kick, it was a kick, right kick.
So it'll be a re-kick situation, 4th down and 10. He booted that last one, Newsy, and Ahuat might want to take a step further back. High snap, though. Newsy gets it off. Ball bounces over midfield. So the penalty call helps about 11 yards of field position for Connecticut.
Not as effective a kick for Matt this time. He had a little bit of pressure coming off the right side from Owen Koch again, but effective enough in its own right.
Tim Cohen, been a long time since he lost a football game. Huh? Can you, I can't remember one.
His last loss was at Salve whenever it occurred. I'm sure it was in the playoffs.
That would make his last high school loss at South Kingstown High School sometime further back, right?
Actually, I think he went undefeated his last year at South Kingstown as well. I think they went 11-0, beating Ponegance at the Super Bowl that year.
So he's hot. If you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, I guess your name's Tim Cohen. Dinnigan, nice throw to Oakland. First down territory, very close.
Shane Dinnigan continues to put the ball where it needs to be delivered. Danny Oakland running quality routes. And Danny Oakland's very fortunate that Roger Farmer, one of the assistant coaches here at East Providence, does a great job of coaching his receivers. You can see Danny gets a great job of securing the ball and advancing it. And Connecticut is certainly flocking to the football at this point to try to get in, down by 18 with 10 minutes to go.
What I like about him, he makes the catch and then he turns and squares and looks. He doesn't try to do something before he knows where the defenders are.
He does. He's a smart receiver. He's headed to the University of Rhode Island. I'm sure he'll do very well for Tim Stowers.
Piccolo with a handoff up the middle, breaks into the secondary on the outside, chases down inside. Connecticut territory inside the 10. First and goal to go for Rhode Island. The Rhode Island squad just about ready to put the icing on the cake in this one, up by 18 under 10 minutes to go.
What a night Eddie Percolos have. Here we go, the draw trap once again that's been so successful for them. Looks like Matt Terrell from South Kingstown High School with the trap block going to his right, and Eddie Percolo just needs a little bit of room to make it happen, which he's done all night long.
Maurice Humphreys chased him down. Look at those numbers in an all-star game. We said he came in with a 12-yard average from LaSalle Academy last fall. Well, he's bettered it in this one. Over 15 yards per carry. Dinnigan airborne for Harrell. Hooking it in the corner of the end zone. Nice defensive play by Devon Brown out of Harding High.
Nowhere to go with that one for Shane. Brian was very well covered in the left side of the end zone. And you can see that Shane delivers the ball to the outside shoulder where it belongs, but at the same time, defensive back for Connecticut makes a great effort to get a hand up on this ball.
Great camera work by Cox 3 crew. And got a foot on it. Right in your living room.
Looks like number 5 for Connecticut, who's done a great job out there, Devon Brown.
Flags on the play.
Flags on the play.
Probably an illegal procedure once again.
Ball start. On the way.
On Rhode
Second
Island.
down.
Second down, 15 yards to go. Rhode Island can get a first down before they get into the end zone. Have to get inside the 3-yard line.
See the Rhode Island players stretching out Eddie Percolo there. This type of heat creates quite a bit of cramps for players, and as much as Eddie has played tonight, I'm sure that his calves are cramping up on him.
Percolo's played every offensive play for Rhode Island. Adds to his proficiency by getting the ball a little closer to the end zone, probably down around the 10-yard line.
The draw trap once again to Eddie out of the shotgun formation. Another great block by Matt Terrell coming from his left guard position on the trap.
Third down and about 10.
If I may, Don, there's a couple of groups that we need to thank here tonight that created this game. One is Stadium System incorporated out of Canaan, Connecticut, as you see Eddie right now on the draw trap. Great play inside out by Connecticut to save a touchdown. Stadium Systems has donated majority of the equipment along with Shutt Sports to create the equipment for this game. The University of Rhode Island donated jerseys and pants for both teams. So it's that collective effort that's created this atmosphere tonight.
Thanks to all the coaches for their efforts, including Keith Kenyon as Terrell tries to go up high and come down with the catch. And the coaches in Rhode Island have really rallied around this one, huh?
They really have. It's been a lot of fun. I think, when Sandy Gorham won that game over at the University of Connecticut in the second year of it, it was a great pole vault for the Coaches Association to realize that we could play. Not that Bob Montero's staff in the first year didn't do a great job, because they did. They played outstanding down there at Southington that night. But that gave us the confidence to win, and then obviously in last year's situation it was a 28-7 win, and we felt very good about it as we entered into this year, the fourth year of the contest.
Maielli attempting a 30-yarder. He's been close on 2 other field goal attempts. Maielli, plenty of boot on it, high and down the middle. Jay Maielli getting 3.
Good for Jay. He's kicked the ball pretty effectively tonight. He finally gets on the board with a field goal. And as I said, from the right hash again, he can use the strength of his leg. The other group that we'd like to thank, Don, is Brown University and head coach Phil Estes. You can see here on Jay's field goal, this one had plenty of distance as it left. It's got great technique, and that one splits the uprights very well. But Phil Estes and his crew, Tom Bold, the assistant athletic director, provide their locker rooms for our use for both the home and visiting team for the second year in a row. And it's a great accommodation for both teams. It's a first-class atmosphere over there. Unfortunately, it's one of the amenities that Piercefield doesn't have is locker rooms for the team, so we were able to use Brown University's, and we really do appreciate Phil Estes and also Tom Bold of offering their facilities for our use for the second year in a row.
So it's nice to see both colleges in Rhode Island. Also, Bryant College plays football here in Rhode Island and the Division II level in Salve, but the 2 Division I AA schools both stepping up to help the local programs, and there have been a lot of kids coming out of the ranks that have made impacts in both of those schools.
No question about it, and we also have to tip our cap to Bryant College. The scouting combine where these kids test to be selected on this team, Bryant College host and his staff, Jimmy Maselli, has done it for 3 years now that we've been able to run the combine there. And Jimmy has been very cooperative with this game as well.
Maielli cranks it away. Finally, he deeps one, and Humphreys can't handle it back there. First time Rhode Island has booted the ball away on a kickoff, and Humphrey shows some of that dangerous return ability for Connecticut, getting it up to the 28.
Well, Don, you have a future as a football coach, because you predicted that early with all those squib kicks and onside kicks, and eventually they would deke it and go deep on them, and that's exactly what they did. They tried to put it over their head, but Connecticut made a great return out of it, of making something out of the nothing to advance the ball up to the 28-yard line.
Trust me, I don't have a future as a coach. But a nice job by Humphreys to get a handle on that one. Just nearly did get over his head.
Maurice really advanced that ball from his own 3-yard line. That's a great job, and some people get out and make some key blocks for him along the way. If it hadn't been for Michael Martins from East Providence making that tackle, he could have been well on his way to the end zone.
Coming out in the I formation. Rollout, looking down the field. Under heavy pressure, the throw on the sideline here. Was it a catch?
Boy, it looks like it, I'll tell you. That was a great throw by Jason Manson under pressure. And you can see Esmail from Southington making a great catch working over to a sideline. The play kind of lost its rhythm and its timing, and John Esmail was able to work here to the near sideline to make that catch diving into the Rhode Island coaching staff.
Manson impressive on the move.
Watch John work across the field. He makes himself available by putting up his hand. It's a great catch, and Jason Manson delivered the ball exactly where he had to be delivered, low and outside for the potential catch.
Manson with Penta in the backfield. behind him along with Hairston. Manson will hold it. Hairston, a big block back there. Manson dodging, juking, throwing it away.
You're right about Hairston's block. That was a crushing block on the sprint out by Jason Manson to his left side. But the play lost its rhythm, lost its timing because of the successful secondary coverage by Rhode Island, and Jason did exactly what he has to, as you see here, by throwing the ball into his own bench to prevent a further turnover. Great pressure there once again by Matt Terrell of South Kingstown High School.
A good job, some of the Rhode Island depth showing off. They're getting everybody in the game and getting them some playing time right now. Kindle, Richards, Cope, all on the sideline. Factor on the sideline. Still that Rhode Island defense playing well. Hairston pitch over the middle, thrown away as a receiver slips down. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like he had a receiver open on that particular time. I think that Jason might have slipped a little bit on his delivery on it, but he looked like he was trying to go, I believe, to Ryan LaFerriere. I can't tell the number from here. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. I think it's David Sanchez, number 38, a familiar target.
Rhode Island did a nice job of shutting Sanchez down here in the second half. Caught a couple of short screen passes for really no gain. And it's now going to be 3rd down, 10 to go, 7:23 left to go in this game. Rhode Island on a roll. They've scored the last 31 points in this one.
Connecticut needs something here, folks. They need to get something started.
Manson, handoff, Hairston, keeps the legs churning. And they're going to say he was down before the ball was stripped away. And Michael Martins from East Providence, the local fans, wanted him to have a fumble recovery very close to it. It's going to be 4th down.
I would assume that Connecticut's going to go for it here. They
Yep.
need to get on the board, and you know that play was started off there by Andrew Loftus of Rogers High School, who's a linebacker. Andrew got his hands on Hairston early, which created the opportunity for Martins almost to recover the fumble.
4th and 5. All over if somehow Connecticut can't muster a 1st down here. Manson, the keeper, under pressure, drops right away. Nice defense for Rhode Island. Corey Baxter from North Kingstown with the tackle.
Well, it looked like Connecticut thought that they could run the option to get the needed 5 yards for a 1st down, and Jason Manson had run the option at Bloomfield during the course of his career. You can see him working down the line. Looks like a speed option. It's a great play by Corey Baxter from his nose guard position, working down the line of scrimmage to make a play on a quarterback, because you certainly don't expect nose guards to make plays on quarterbacks in the option game.
Michael Martins played a lot of games here at Pierce Field. This will be his final one. The Townie moving on. These players are all seniors. Many of them moving on to play college football. Many of them playing their final football game ever.
Don, East Providence has been so well represented through the years of this All-Star game. They've always placed 4 and 5 kids on the team each year, and Mike is no exception. He's another great player, maybe a little bit undersized, but he has tremendous heart.
Prideaux with a handoff up the middle as Darrell Carter from South Kingstown takes that handoff, and you can tell that Tim Goen is feeling pretty good because he's got Eddie Percolo on the sideline, so he must feel pretty confident right now. Finally, Percolo gets a little rest on an offensive series.
Yeah, I think this is the first snap that we've seen anybody besides Eddie Percolo at the fullback position, and good for Darrell Carter. He was a great player at South Kingstown during his career, and he gets an opportunity to run the ball here as they try to eat a little bit of clock time here, and hopefully end this thing with a victory celebration when it's over.
His head coach, Bruce Cardiff, one of the many assistants, helping out Tim Cohen.
Bruce has done a great job with his club over the 2 weeks, too. He's been very successful at South Kingstown since he came here from Woonsocket.
Johnson out of Rogers High School. Rogers has been producing a lot of quality football players, especially skilled players. Teddy Gibbons down at URI really started to make an impact, got some serious playing time as a freshman down there, and expects to get more for Tim Stour's squad.
What a great tradition at Rogers High School in high school football. From the legendary John Topa now to Jim Grauer, they've always produced quality athletes over there. And the opportunity to go play in Newport under the lights on a Friday night at Topa Field is quite an environment for high school football, similar to the one here at Pierce Field tonight.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. Prideaux gives it to E.J. DeWitt. He's in a heap of trouble in the backfield. And grab a yard for himself.
He tried to make something out of nothing. That was a mistimed play, obviously. Looked like they were trying to run the buck sweep in here to the near sideline, and the timing got a little bit messed up because EJ is supposed to follow his guards out here and didn't get that opportunity, but he turned his shoulders up and got what he could to the sideline. You can see it here in the bobbled handoff.